It's been almost 2 years since my last worst characters video, and to everyone who was patient enough for a part 2, it's finally here. In this video I'm gonna go over more awful characters that just make you want to pull your eyes out of your head whenever you see their stupid faces. Am I being a little overdramatic? Yes. But am I lying? No. Because sometimes these characters really just suck. The first character on this list is Lucy from Peanuts. Now you know what I hate more than anything? I hate characters that make other people's lives harder for no reason. And one of the biggest perpetrators of this trope is Lucy Van Pelt. My guy Charlie Brown does absolutely nothing to nobody. And if we're being real, his life fucking sucks. But Lucy, being the cruel asswipe that she is, can't help but make his life even worse. One time he went to her for psychiatric help, even though she's the opposite of a fucking doctor, because seeing her makes you feel worse instead of feeling better. But instead of helping him with his problems or giving him some advice to cheer him up, she decides to bring him into her house and show him a PowerPoint presentation of all his failures. Then she starts pointing out all his insecurities in the presentation, calling him fat and making fun of his nose. Not only is this just mean, but this whole slideshow implies that Lucy just keeps a record of every embarrassing thing that has ever happened to Charlie Brown on hand, which is like extra insane. She then goes on to show him even more stuff, criticizing and ridiculing him that we don't even get to see, until he eventually can't take it anymore and has a mental breakdown. Jeez. And we wonder why Charlie Brown's depressed. After that, she goes on to trick him by asking him to kick a football and ripping it away at the last minute. I'm sure everyone has seen this clip, but the difference is if I was there, things would have looked a little more like this.
Okay, that is the last time you were gonna pull that crap. You hear me?
Yes!
Do you hear me?
Yes!
Okay, obviously I'm just kidding, but I do feel bad for Charlie Brown because her consistent humiliation definitely has an effect on him.
I never knew I had so many faults. I never felt so completely miserable.
Wait until you get my bill.
The next character on this list is Daniel Tiger. Now recently there's been this whole wave of anti-Daniel Tiger propaganda, and when I saw this I thought, no, not my boy Daniel. I remember him being a good kid, so I didn't believe it. But after doing some research,
they were right.
He might even be just as bad as Caillou, and maybe even worse than Horrid Henry. Okay, I'm joking about that last one. A lot of people got mad at me for saying Henry was a bad kid. When it comes to Daniel Tiger though, he's actually kind of a menace. My first instinct was to defend him, like when people were roasting him for this clip.
It's my egg salad sandwich. My dad made it for me. Egg salad? I don't like egg salad. Why not? I just don't like it. Oh, how would you feel if your friend said that they didn't like your lunch? It hurts my feelings.
I mean, sure, he's being a baby because she's not really saying anything bad. She just doesn't like the smell, which is understandable. And he's taking it personal, but he's like 5 years old. I can remember when I was a kid bringing food from home and kids would be like, ew, what is that? Because my mom made me like some African food instead of a PB&J or whatever they were used to seeing. And I can't lie, it kind of hurt. I would just be eating, minding my own business and feeling kind of bad about their reactions to my food. But there's some things I just can't defend. Like when he got mad at Miss Elena for sitting in this seat that he wanted that was next to his crush. Bro literally started fighting for the seat even though she sat down first, and got up to attack her even though there's another seat right there that he could have just picked up and moved next to the girl he wanted to sit by. But no, he expects everyone to bend to his will. Luckily the teacher stepped in before Daniel committed a hate crime. Another example of Daniel being a complete narcissist is when he got upset that no one was giving him attention at his sister's birthday.
I wish I got a shiny present.
I mean, come on, this is the worst type of kid. One that expects presents on someone else's birthday. Like, what do you think this is? You have your own birthday. Can someone else have the spotlight for once? It's like the happier his sister got, the sadder he became. Speaking of his sister, the worst thing Daniel did that I have to talk about is he got so mad at his sister for knocking over his toys. Keep in mind, she's like 1 year old, and it was clearly an accident. But Daniel, being the menace that he is, almost punches her. Yeah, he almost hits his baby sister in the face. What the fuck? Look how innocent she is. She even flinches, meaning he's probably done this before. I'm sorry, but this is unforgivable behavior. Now, after making multiple of these types of videos, I've noticed a trend. The worst characters in cartoons are typically annoying older sisters, annoying younger sisters, or bitch-ass toddlers. Unfortunately, Daniel Tiger's a bitch-ass toddler, but this next character is an example of the annoying sister archetype, and that is Sarah from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Sarah is hands down one of the most frustrating characters I have had the displeasure of watching. She's a walking nightmare for her brother Ed, and honestly, it's wild how her parents never seem to realize just how toxic she is. Her temper is so explosively volatile that you'd think someone would have signed her up for therapy by now. Instead, she's allowed to run wild, exploiting a clearly abusive family dynamic every chance she gets. Her brother Ed barely ever stands up for himself, meaning he gets constantly bullied by her. And yet his parents remain oblivious or blatantly play favorites, giving Sarah everything she wants while Ed lives in the basement and gets treated like a doormat. Sarah doesn't just pick on Ed, she's manipulative and abusive towards all the Eds. She threatens them relentlessly, punishes them for things they didn't do, and delights in causing them misery. At least Kevin, the main antagonist of the trio, only gets violent when provoked. Sarah will attack the Eds just for something as simple as wanting to watch a harmless monster movie marathon. What makes it worse is she never gets punished and has very few redeeming moments. She stays the same bratty, controlling terror throughout the series and rarely faces any real consequences for her actions. Remember when Eddie was getting abused by his brother and all the kids were scared? Look who the only person smiling is. Evil bastard. She is literally only nice to one person, and that's Jimmy, who she treats better than her own brother. Yet somehow all the kids in the cul-de-sac still tolerate her, which I will never understand. The next character on this list is Peppa Pig.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Do I even need to say more? Moving on, last but certainly not least on this list of awful characters is none other than Lila Rosie from The Miraculous Ladybug. Lila is easily one of the worst characters in Miraculous Ladybug because she's a compulsive liar who thrives on manipulation, gaslighting, and ruining people's lives, all while playing the victim, and for some reason everyone believes her. From the moment she shows up, Lila lies about knowing Ladybug personally to get close to Adrian. She lies about being best friends with celebrities and even fakes medical conditions to gain sympathy, like saying she had tinnitus and saying she has a condition that makes her lie, which, yeah, that's just called being a pathological liar. Fucking dumbass. Any rational person should be able to see through her, but no, all the students just eat up her stories without any questions, even when they contradict each other. One of her worst defenses is how she repeatedly targets Marinette, the show's protagonist. In one episode, she convinces the entire class that Marinette is jealous, mean, and bullying her, effectively turning everyone against her. Even when Marinette tries to expose the truth, Lila is always one step ahead. She doesn't even have to work hard for her manipulation to succeed. The plot bends over backwards to make it happen. It's like all the other characters' IQs drop when she's around. Watching her work is like watching someone win a chess match because their opponent forgot how the pieces move. That's why she's not just a bad person in universe, she's a bad character in writing terms. She drags down the believability and intelligence of the entire show every time she's on screen. She really doesn't even have a reason to act this way other than she's just a sociopath. She uses emotional manipulation as a weapon for personal gain and revenge, but the worst part is how everyone else suddenly becomes gullible to a cartoonish degree. I mean, she literally cuts her hair and pretends to be a different person, yet no one suspects anything. She goes from just a supreme liar to a whole-ass supervillain with multiple identities and a secret lair. And all of this is because she was humiliated by Ladybug once. At least now she's developing some sort of backstory and isn't just evil girl number 2, because they already had that with Chloe, who also sucks. But I think Lila is ultimately worse. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Comment down below letting me know who you think I missed, and make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel while you're down there. Thanks for watching.